In this lesson, we are still going to work on proportions, but we are working on a tool called a type diagram. So in this lesson, sometimes we find that there are proportions that are difficult for us to solve because they have bigger numbers. So what we can do is set up what we call a tape diagram. It says Phillips Bakery makes two kinds of cupcakes, a chocolate cupcake and a red velvet cupcake. For every 2 red velvet cupcakes, the bakery makes 3 chocolate cupcakes. The bakery got a big order this morning for both kinds of cupcakes, so they made 342 chocolate cupcakes. How many red velvet did they make? So here's what we can use. It's called a tape diagram. And since there are 3 on our original chocolate cupcakes, we are going to make 3 boxes to represent the chocolate cupcakes and 2 boxes to represent our red velvet cupcakes. What we're going to do is take our 342 cupcakes divided by 3 to break them into 3 equal quantities. 3 goes into 3 once. Bring down the 4. 3 goes into 4 once. Subtract to get 1 and bring down the 2, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So that means when there were 3 different batches, 3 sections, they each have 114 cupcakes. Now because they're in equal parts, we also know then that the red velvet cupcakes would be 114 for each section, and that's helpful then with a tape diagram that all the sections are the same. So for the total number of red velvet cupcakes, we just need to add the 2 of them together, or you can multiply by 2, and that's how many red velvet cupcakes we would have. A tape diagram helps us by splitting them into equal quantities. This is a part to a part. All right, let's move on to the next one. Johnson's Food Drive is packaging fruit to give away to people who need food for the holidays. They plan to put 3 oranges and 4 apples in each basket. They have 273 oranges. How many apples do they need to make the fruit baskets? So since we're talking about apples and oranges, it's going to be a part to part. And then it says we have 3 oranges and 4 apples. So we're going to make our tape diagram. We're going to start with oranges, and then we're going to do apples. And the oranges are going to have 3 sections. And the apples are going to have 4 sections. Each section is the same. So since the oranges, there are 3 sections and there's a total of 273 oranges. We're going to take 273 divided by 3. 3 goes into 27 9 times. Bring down the 3, and 3 goes into 3 once. So each section would be 91 oranges. And since the sections in a tape diagram are exactly the same, then we know that we have 4 sections of apples that are 91 each. So to find out the total apples, we can add 91 4 times, or just take 91 times 4. And we know that we have 364 apples. In the next section, we're going to decide if it's a part to part or part to whole. A bin of candy contains a mix of jelly beans and gummy bears. There are 4 jelly beans for every 3 gummy bears, and there are 630 candies in the bin. So there are 4 jelly beans and 3 gummy bears. So let's start with jelly beans. And then we have gummy bears. There are 4 jelly beans and 3 gummy bears. this time it says there are 630 candies in all. So this one's going to be a part to whole relationship. How many boxes are there? There are 7 boxes in all. And so we're going to take 630 divided by 7 to see how many go in each box. 7 goes into 63 9 times, and then we add our 0 at the end. So each box will contain 90 pieces of candy. And there are 4 jelly bean boxes, so that means 4 times 90 is 360, and 3 times 90 is 270. So we have 270 gummy bears and 360 jelly beans. Number 4, there are 2 colors of marbles in a bag of 20 marbles. There are 2 red and 3 green. So let's make our red and our green. There are 2 red boxes, 2 red sections of marbles, and 3 green sections of marbles. In all, there are 5 sections. So since there is a total of 20 marbles, we're going to take 20 divided by 5, and we know that that goes in there 4 times. So there will be 4 marbles in each section. So it asks us how many of each. So there will be 8 red, and there will be 12 green in our section. This is going to be a part to whole relationship, because we're talking about the entire section of marbles. In our last example, a company makes 2 kinds of t-shirts. We have blue t-shirts and green t-shirts, which is 3 to 2. So if we have the blue t-shirts that has 3 of the sections, and the green t-shirts which has 2 of the sections, and it says the company made 150 total shirts. So this is going to be part to whole. And so there are 5 parts, 5 boxes that are going to go into all of the t-shirts that were made. So we divide, 5 goes into 15 3 times, bringing down our 0, so that goes in there 0 times. So each section will be 30. 30 plus 30 gives us 60 green t-shirts, and 30, 30, and 30 gives us 90 blue t-shirts. And this is explaining ratios and proportions using a tape diagram of part to part and part to whole.